There's a glass case tucked away in a dimly lit corner of a private museum in Monroe, Connecticut. Inside it sits an old, raggedy doll, bright red yarn for hair, button eyes, and a stitched-on smile so wide it borders on unsettling. Above her hangs a wooden plaque engraved with a warning. Positively do not open. And beneath her happy face? The Lord's Prayer, carved by hand. She hasn't moved in years. At least, not that anyone can prove. Her name is Annabelle. But before she sat imprisoned in glass, she walked. And what she left behind was not a trail of thread or stuffing, but of blood, screams, and evil. Chapter 1, The Gift. 1970 Hartford, Connecticut. Donna, a 28-year-old nurse, came home one rainy evening to a box on her kitchen table. It was from her mother, a birthday gift. Inside, a Raggedy Ann doll. Ah, Donna smiled. She's cute, huh, Angie? Angie, her roommate, chuckled. Sure, if you're into red yarn hair and creepy smiles. They placed the doll on the living room sofa. Her stitched face looked harmless, cheerful, almost sweet. No one suspected what lived inside. That night, Donna left her on the couch. The next morning, the doll was sitting on her bed, arms folded in her lap. Did you move her? Donna asked. Angie frowned. No. You sure you didn't? They laughed it off. But then it happened again. And again. Each time more strange. Doors closed. Lights flickered. Whispers in the hallway when no one was there. Chapter 2, The Messages. Then came the notes. Little scraps of parchment paper that neither woman owned. On them, scrawled in jagged handwriting. Help me. Help us. Help Lou. What the hell is this? Donna whispered, holding the paper with trembling hands. No one broke in, Angie said. No windows open. No sign of forced entry. But who's Lou? They were about to find out. Chapter 3, The Claw. Lou was Angie's boyfriend, a military guy, skeptical and rough around the edges. One afternoon, while the girls were out, Lou was napping on the couch. He woke suddenly, gasping. Annabelle was staring at him from across the room. His limbs wouldn't move. He was paralyzed. The doll climbed onto his chest, slowly, deliberately. He tried to scream. Nothing came out. And then a searing pain tore across his chest. When he finally scrambled to his feet, the doll lay face down. On Lou's chest were 7 bloody claw marks, like something had raked across his flesh. 2 days later, they vanished. No scars. No trace. Chapter 4, The Medium. Shaken and terrified, Donna called a medium. They held a seance in candlelight. The room chilled to bone. The medium closed her eyes and a voice, not hers, spoke through her lips. My name is Annabelle Higgins. I died here. Long ago. I was 7. I want to stay. Donna and Angie sobbed. They agreed. They let the spirit live in the doll. That was their first and worst mistake. Chapter 5, The Warrens. When the attacks worsened, they called a priest. Father Hagen. He called his superior Father Cook. And he called Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famed demonologists. The moment Lorraine entered the apartment, her face turned pale. She stared at Annabelle. It's not a little girl, she whispered. It's a demon. Ed added, it's pretending to be innocent. But it wants a soul. They explained that inhuman spirits don't possess dolls. They manipulate them to gain trust and eventually control. It's not about the doll, Ed said. It's about getting inside one of you. Chapter 6, The Exorcism. Father Cook performed a full exorcism of the apartment. The doll hissed. The air turned rank heavy. The lights blew out. And then silence. The Warrens wrapped the doll in holy cloth and drove her back to their home. But she wasn't done yet. Chapter 7, The Drive. They took back roads, fearing what Annabelle might do on the highway. Even then, the brakes failed. 3 times. She's trying to kill us. Lorraine screamed. Ed reached for his bag, pulled out holy water, and splashed it on the doll. The car jolted. Everything returned to normal. Annabelle didn't move the rest of the ride. But she was watching. Chapter 8, The Museum. Back at the Warrens' home, Annabelle was placed in a locked study. She escaped. They found her in the hallway. They moved her to an outer building. She came back. They built a case. Glass, oak, inscribed with the Lord's Prayer. Ed blessed it regularly, for the rest of his life. Even now, people come to see her. Some mock her. Chapter 9, The Deaths. One priest, a visitor, picked her up. "This is what's got people scared?" He laughed. Ed warned him. Hours later, the priest's new car was totaled. He barely survived. "She was in my rearview mirror," he whispered later, smiling. Another visitor, a young man on a motorcycle, tapped on the glass. "Stupid doll," he joked. He died that very night. Lost control. Head on into a tree. His girlfriend survived. She said, "We were laughing about the doll when it happened." Epilogue, still watching. Annabelle is still there. Behind the glass. Her smile hasn't changed. But every so often, visitors say they feel her eyes move. A flicker in the glass. A whisper behind them. Some even say the case gets warmer. Tony Spera, Ed's son-in-law, is her keeper now. "She's the most dangerous thing in this museum," he says. "If she ever got out. I don't even want to imagine." So, next time you walk by an old toy in a shop or find one in your attic, ask yourself, is it just a doll? Or is something waiting inside? Waiting for you?